We're gonna start the meeting, while, Brian texts to see if she is gonna, sign in, but there is a quorum. Approval of minutes from January 9th.
I can't, I wasn't there. So, 3 of you.
Yeah. Except. Bob, were you there? Oh, attendees. Okay, I see.
Yes, yeah.
I
Richard was
see.
here,
Yes.
I was here.
Oh, this is the one.
This was
that,
the one where it was stormed.
storm.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, what?
And then we all enjoyed the tree that was down.
The tree, that is correct.
And
Right.
Bobby felt like
Yeah.
he was neglected, so he pushed a tree in the middle of the street.
Yeah, and that poor kid had no rain gear.
He was out and he was picking the trees up, pushing them.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not sitting in the car.
Yeah.
He did a good job. All y'all did.
All right, I'd make a motion to approve the minutes of January 9, 2024.
Second motion to approve the minutes of January 9/2024.
Okay, there's a motion to approve and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And one abstain.
Well, yeah, I wasn't there.
Okay, accounts payable.
The accounts payable. This month, the total is 230,296.78. We have ACH payments of 190,407.74. We direct debits is 28,092.99, and checks is 11,796.05 for that total of 230,266.78. I believe 78.
That's what the total is.
Yes.
Is there a motion to pay the bills?
I will make a motion to pay our bills in the total of 230,000. What?
66,
There it
78.
is. That's the one. 230, 266.78.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second the motion to pay the bills at 230,266.78
Woohoo!
I was trying to cheat the whole time and she wouldn't.
No coffee.
Yeah.
Remind me back when I was in school.
Or it was much more helpful. I got to look.
Ha.
Nice. Thank you.
Okay. There's a motion and a second to pay the bills. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Chris, do you want to talk about our grants?
Renee, we have Carl here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'd love to hear about the grants.
Okay, all right.
Yes, I do, when you're ready.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I think everyone has the 2-page list. And the details are on there, but in short, looking at the list, which is coming up right now, of course, the top one there is the circuit rider grant that we administer, and that's ongoing. We're basically halfway through the year, and that we'll have to reapply in June and July of next summer, the coming summer, for another year, and hopefully get at least the same amount. Below that are the active grants and projects. We really are working on, we've got 4 open grants and running. That's 1, 4, 5, and 6. The facade grant is number 2 is really done. I just have to close out the paperwork with the 5 houses that got some $5,000 each. And the number 3, the dredging spoils, is more or less approved, but we haven't really started yet. Excuse me. And Brian would have more information about that. That's kind of on one of his favorite grants.
Hey, Chris, Brian,
yeah.
The 2, it's the funding request was 800,000. Is that how much we're getting?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, great.
Number 3.
Numbers, the second half of that page, numbers 10 through 15. these are kind of just things to keep aware of. They're not necessarily grants, the ARPA fund, the EOC and EOP process, the FEMA community rating, just to make sure they don't fall off the list anywhere. The letter pending and grants, the first one, A, literally just today, about 3 hours ago, I got a notice that the next round of earmarks for the 2 senators is due on March 8th. So we need to pretty quickly now, starting now, figure out what to ask for, whether or not just to try to repeat the town hall request or some part of it, and get that in with the appropriate paperwork by March 8th. So that just got announced today. Moving down that list, letters on the second page, G, as in golf, the Upper Shore Regional Council, we just had a call yesterday. This is a $7,000 in kind. They're basically, they're doing the work for us. We don't actually handle the money, but the value of their work is $7,000. This will be sort of an economic, I call it sort of an economic context of our area that will feed into the comprehensive plan as well. In other words, what are the market trends in and around Charlestown? What giant things are being planned by the feds? The new intersection on I-95, the tracks on Amtrak, things like that. Kind of a overview of big topics in the area that help inform the comprehensive plan, and they promised that in about 2 to 3 months. So that's G, that started. I, the video lottery grant, which you know comes from the casino, that'll be opening up pretty soon again. I put a call into Barbara Smith to find out when. And below that, P, right below the gray line, UMD is University of Maryland Environmental Finance Center. We had a call with them. This will be a service, there's no money involved, but a service that they provide to basically take a look at the town's financial status, what you can afford under sort of typical financial tools, what grants and things are possibly available. This is part of the researching into the town hall and the water tower, water system upgrades of what realistically is out there and what could the town afford to maybe partially pay for some of these things. It's all there. That's what they do, and they'll produce a little report for us. Up above that, at the top of that page, C, D, E are 3 grant proposals we put in. These are follow-ups to the watershed management plan for actual improvements along certain streets that you can see there and along the shore. And then there's some miscellaneous previous grants at the bottom of the page. I'm looking at Maryland Department of Transportation in H for some way to maybe pay for painting stop bars, other little traffic things that they fund. And that's about it. So we got, what did I say, 4 or 5 active grants, another 3 that are just sort of starting. Oh, and the comp plan is a big one this coming year. So that's the story. You have questions?
Question about the athletic complex grant, 294,000 that we're going for. Would this, I mean, I don't know what the timeline in on this, but don't we already have engineering or a plan for stormwater management for the athletic complex?
We're working on that design plan now.
Would those go hand in hand? Because I wouldn't do any renovation on those fields until after we do stormwater management because of the impact.
Yeah. That's Julie, if you remember that grant we applied for, I think 1.5 years ago. So I think that I can't remember if we didn't get that or I think it's on this list because it's something to consider in the future. I don't believe we got that grant that we had submitted 2
So
years ago.
that we, for the stormwater management for,
Pavilion.
oh, for the, oh, okay, okay. But let me ask, so, in priority of stormwater work, because just help me get the order of things. We've got one big stormwater management plan, and then the sports complex is separate, which, but that's already planned and,
It's not, we're in the middle of the planning right now, the engineering is happening right now.
right, okay,
Design is in place.
right, right,
And that project will probably be completed, I'll say by the summer. It's a stream restoration, drainage improvements along Frederick Street, and stormwater facilities in and around the park.
okay, all right, that helps.
And sometimes, just to clarify, when grants are being
Yeah, they just
asked
take,
for, it takes
right,
a long time for it to
Yeah.
happen. So if it comes up, you have to apply for it
Yeah.
so that it's planned.
could any of those funds be used towards stormwater management? Because it would
It
be an
depends on how
improvement
the
to the
grant-
athletic.
It depends on how the grant
It's
is.
worded, yeah,
That particular one we didn't get, so.
right, okay,
We have to reapply it, sounds like.
right, okay.
Really appreciate this, Chris. And I really appreciate all the work that all of you are doing to help this and the grants that we are now receiving. And to work towards the goals that we are trying to do.
It is a real team effort because I'm only part-time and not in any way to diminish Brian and Julie. They still get their fingers in the grants.
Yes, yes, yes. I know I've come in and there's like, don't touch the table. There's paperwork here. Don't touch it. Okay. Is there anything anybody would like to ask Chris? Okay, thank you very much, Chris.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Chris?
Thank you, Chris.
The annexation of Charlestown Manor and Campground. Carl.
Thank you, everyone, for the opportunity to come back in. Brian, I believe Ms. Lloyd, is she on Zoom?
I believe so, yeah.
I believe she's there. Good evening, Kim. Is she here?
Kimberly's iPad, we're asking you to unmute just to say hello.
Just want to make sure she's there. No, she may have stepped away.
I don't get one, okay. I can't read.
Brian. Wow, so I guess we were in here in December, here on behalf of Ms. Kimberly Lloyd this evening. We were in here in December, asking for the town to consider an annexation of the remaining portion of the Charlestown Manor Beach and Campground. And I've attached a copy of prepared by Tulsa, which shows the area which is looking to be annexed. But really, if you go to the last page, attachment 2, it really kind of shows the layout, because you can see the Charlestown Marina and Campground is on the other side of Avalon. And it essentially half of the campground is currently in the town of Charlestown, and it's the zone residential, shoreline recreational. And right now, and time is of the essence in this particular matter, because we have an offer right now from the county to rezone the area that we would like to bring into Charlestown to mobile home. And when that proposal was made to us, it's like, we really have more synergies with the town of Charlestown. I've always kind of considered us to be part of Charlestown to begin with. Half of the campground's already in Charlestown, and it makes more sense to have, a common zoning for the whole campground and not have mobile home, right up smack dab up against the town of Charlestown. And because it's really not, it's a campground, which is what it is. So it makes perfect sense to rezone it in, to shoreline recreation in the event that the town did agree to an annexation. We currently, again, are, in my mind, the rezoning is a great logical step for Charlestown, because when you look at the area, if you were to continue along basically if you annex this new portion into Charlestown, you're zoning this side of Edgewater, right? And of course, if you go to the far side of Edgewater, as you come in down toward the Beachcomber, all of that portion is currently in town as well. So it's kind of like a natural extension. The only part that wouldn't be in town now is some of the residential in between. I know that I've been trying to get on the agenda for a while to represent or get an answer from the town, because we need to know, is the town interested in having us rezoned in? Because if the town is, we would love to have an answer, yes, that we are, because then we need to continue with the work. The annexation process does take time. But if you're not interested as well, we kind of need to know that as well. And then we'll go ahead and how to deal with the county essentially. But like I said, from our position, we'd much rather come into the town. I've always quite frankly thought that the town wanted to bring as much of Charlestown Manor in as possible. I know there was an issue when we had presented before about, there was talk about water and water capacity. Now, currently the marina has all the water and utilities that it needs. Okay, it doesn't need water from the town. Now, obviously, because I know you've been studying, Holloway Beach and so forth, and you don't have additional capacity, but when and if that capacity comes in, then of course, the campground would tie in. But as far as currently, there's no necessity for it. And that could be written to the agreement that was finally made, that when and if water comes in, we'll certainly agree to tie in. It's interesting, almost commonplace with when the town does extend water to certain residential units. It's like the reverse, that you sign the agreement, we'll bring you water, and if we decide we want to annex you in, you've already consented to the annexation via the deed that gets recorded. But the county's waiting as well, because I just got a call from their attorney saying, hey, what are you doing with the town? Are you going forward or not going with the town? So it's really important that we kind of know if the town wants us to be annexed in or not. But also for the town, the benefits, I don't really see any negatives, quite frankly, because it's not going to cost the town a nickel.
You want to go to the, well, we got.
Annex in. But it is, it's a commercial benefit. And we always talk about in town that we have a paucity of commercial properties in town. We got the marinas and we got a couple restaurants. And we have a campground and part of a campground. This would being a commercial piece of property, would bring in additional commercial property, additional revenues to the town and so forth. And even though Ms. Lloyd may not certainly agree with it, I've certainly explained to her, I said, we come into annexation, come in with eyes wide open, because you're going to be getting hit with additional town tax if you come into town. And additionally, the town is kicking around, of course, a campground tax as well. It hasn't happened yet, but it's being kicked around. So, she acknowledges all that. But I think, again, the real benefit we share, we share essentially a common body of water with Avalon and so forth. So the impact from the campground or from Charlestown impacts the campground and vice versa. And it just makes sense to tie in. I also know, and I submitted in the packet that I submitted, I changed the drawing up a little bit because I know you guys were getting a little hung up on the cart path. And I've erased the cart path out of the cart path is, that was just something that we thought that the town might be interested in doing, but it doesn't, the cart path is not part of the equation for the annexation. It's, there's no cart path or golf cart path or connecting bridge that's necessary. We thought the town might want to do it because, again, in creating pathways, which we've always talked about,
I was working on that.
this would be a kind of a thing to do, but right now that's kind of off the table unless we want to talk about it afterwards. Thank you. it's a great opportunity for everybody. And we would love to see the town give us a thumbs up for annexation, so then we can say, hey, county, this is the road we're going to go at this point in time. Engineering, like I said, the water and sewer thing is not really an issue. It's kind of it's a red herring when it comes to either you want the annexation or you don't want the annexation. I would love to see the board kind of take a vote on whether or not, they're thumbs up or thumbs down on the annexation. It's conditioned upon us reaching an agreement, but before we go and expend time in trying to reach an agreement with the town, and prepare an agreement to go along. And I also did prepare, I want to give this to you. I did prepare just because I know we haven't done annexations for a while, but this essentially is a resolution. There's some dates and times in there that would need to be filled in, of course. But it's essentially a template resolution that would be utilized. It's what it would look like if the town decided to go forward with the annexation. Everybody's got to get notice, it's got to be advertised in the papers, it's got to go to the county, they got to be provided notice so that they can comment. I don't think the county has any issues with it. And again, I just think about it. I think it's an exciting time because if you don't annex it in town of Charlestown, you don't have any control whatsoever. Either this is an opportunity to expand in a good, healthy, responsible way. And I think it's an opportunity, time waits for no man. So if you let this opportunity pass, I think it's a shame for the town of Charlestown, because I know what Ms. Lloyd has been doing over there. I mean, she's taken that campground. Some of you may know what it used to look like and what it looks like now. And she's running an excellent business, and she's only going to continue to invest additional monies and dollars into the campground. So I think it's a great win-win for everybody. So my request here tonight is to get, an affirmation here from the board. I mean, it's been two plus months since I first came in. I think there's been plenty of time to chew on it. You all should certainly have an opinion whether if it's a yay or a nay. And then you can put language into the motion that we condition it on a final agreement. But let's start working toward that final agreement so we can get this annexed in. And if you don't mind, Ms. Lloyd, are you there? She there, Brian?
Hey, Pam and Lou, just so you know, I had to mute you a couple of times because you weren't speaking and we were getting an echo. But Lou, you should be able to speak now. And Kim, I'm asking you to, oh, sorry, I just muted you.
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. I was having a hard time with my laptop.
All right, well, it doesn't help if I'm muting you. Sorry.
So I don't know if you've heard what I've been saying, but if there is anything additional you might want to add for their consideration, now would certainly be the time.
I think you covered it all, Carl.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Do you all have any questions you might want to ask Ms. Lloyd or myself?
If we can't make, because I don't think it's a bad idea, because it brings in new tax revenue. We've got commercial business. She does a very nice business there. I think she's done a great job with that. But the reservation, and we've all talked about it, is the lack of the ability to furnish water. Does your agreement with the county preclude us from annexing it in the future?
Yes, it would.
Well, not
necessarily, but not the way we would want it. Guys, I'm sorry, but I'm on a Zoom that I'm having a trouble with down here, and I would really like to weigh in on this before I lose you guys again. I'm going to flat out put a motion out here right now that we go ahead and accept the idea that we are going to annex in them, because I really do not want them to go with the county and have mobile homes. I don't want her to be readdressed as mobile home park. I think that would be horrendous for us in the town, when we already know we're going to annex them in at some time anyway, and part of her property is already in town. I just think that makes a wise decision, and my motion is to let them know, contingent upon the agreement that both parties come to, that it's good for the town and for her, that we say, yes, we are going to annex them in.
Contingent upon what?
Sorry, Lou, contingent upon what now?
Contingent upon, Carl, can you fill that in for me, please, so that because I am dropping in and out of service again. I would like it to be where it would be contingent upon both parties agreeing to, in all essence, water rights, things like that. We're not going to supply water right away. We're not going to do anything like that right away. Nothing. We're just going to sit down together and talk and hash everything out together where it is good for both of us.
And it's essentially in my letter, what I recommend, and that is essentially contingent upon, for example, we want to be annexed into Charlestown, but it's conditioned upon, one, that we have the zoning shoreline recreation, which is what is already there. And additionally that, for example, on the plat, there's 14 additional lots that she would like to go in. Now, for example, there would be my suggestion would be if the board says, hey, we want to go ahead and go forward with this and we would flesh out the rest of the agreement and we would put it in writing that, we consent, for example, Kim Lloyd would consent to an annexation provided there's shoreline recreation, that you guys are fine with the additional lots provided it complies with critical areas, or they're not lots, they're campsites. Floodplain and critical area. And then additionally, we would also put in the agreement, for example, that when and if water comes down to the park, or that capacity arrives, that we would agree to tie into it. So, things of that nature. I would work with Bestie, and then we would, you guys would suck.
One thing that you said is it wouldn't cost the town anything,
Mhm.
but it will.
Right.
Part of this is for annexation. We have to have a complete survey done of the property. There's other fees that are involved with it. It's not, here you go. It's not like that.
It's
And
de
I'm
minimis.
just,
It's de minimis. I mean, and obviously they're going to be advertising expenses. You probably have to pay a lawyer to look at some contracts and things like we do in any other business transaction. But that's those minor expenses, I think, are somewhat short-sighted and pale in comparison to the ultimate benefit that the town is getting.
And I'm not against it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. My biggest thing was the water, because we can't give the amenity.
And that's fine.
And I want it to come back, but that was my only reservation to that.
There's no requirement that you have to provide water to a property that is annexed into town.
And that's what we were saying, Renee, that we were not going to be able to do that.
We would include that into an agreement.
But my motion's still out there with.
Lou, you said when you were talking that you did not want trailers, but if this is campground zoning, that still is trailers.
Well, it's not a mobile home, is what I meant. We don't want mobile homes.
Recreational vehicles only?
Exactly. Recreational vehicles are.
Speaking for myself, I'm definitely not against it. I'm definitely bring them in.
I'm definitely
I would
for
want
it.
everything is in writing as we spoke. And I think that if it's my understanding, I'm new at this. We should talk to the residents about it also. Shouldn't they have a say so?
Well, that would be the case if you were annexing in other properties. This Ms. Kim is the sole owner of the property in which we are looking to bring in. Right?
Well, I'm talking about the residents of Charlestown.
I don't know what. I mean, you could.
I'm asking.
But nobody really asked the residents of Charlestown when we came in. It was, we wanted to come in and we came in to Charlestown. And I don't believe that anybody asked the entire town whether or not it was okay if we came in. It cost us a lot of money to come in. we've paid it back like tenfold.
In statutory language, if you're looking to bring in like Holloway Beach, if you just wanted to kind of just go for it, right? You would have to get buy-in from a certain percentage of the community, but that's not the
But
situation. Again,
this is a campground.
and so therefore, you can, use your own best judgment as to what's right. I just don't see how you could say it's a negative thing. And particularly, like I said, I don't know how that would ever change your rationale for what you would do in this particular situation. It's almost fixing what should have been, should have been done a long time ago. And I'm just saying it's so odd. It's so odd and awkward. And we have problems down there right now. We go down there because, is this property in town, or is this property or building in town, or is this building out of town? This will clarify all the particular issues. And once again, it gives, what I think is really nifty about all this is that it gives, a lot of people don't like this, having to come into town to ask for the blessings of the fathers and mothers of the board. But Kim's, she's made that business calculation and she's willing to do that. So I just think it's a real no-brainer for the town. I keep saying that. I just think it's, we beg for people to want to come into town.
Carl, I don't mean to cut you off, but Renee, there's a motion on the table, hon, and I'm gonna lose you guys in probably like 2 minutes.
I know there's a motion, but there's still discussion going on, and I understand, and
Okay, I'm just saying, I'm probably gonna lose you, so you might just have to call me back to let me know.
even if you go, we know
Yeah.
that you have the motion there and that we will acknowledge that you are for it, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just call me back somehow or let me know later if I lose you guys.
And again, I'll just say again, when the proposal was made by the county back in early December, we got right into the town because we knew we couldn't sit on this. We couldn't wait. And
back then it was, water was, at my understanding, water was going to be brought in and the bridge was going to happen and we were going to supply. I'm just saying this is how my understanding back then. So now it's a different proposal. I think it seems to be a much easier transaction to start with.
yeah, those were just, like I said, the golf cart was just an incentive or an add-on that we thought would be nice, but.
Well,
Yeah, it's a great
and
amount.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying we were looking at,
But it's certainly not
Financial.
necessary. And like I said, the water is never. It's not, we know it's not there. And we know you don't, but we don't need water, so.
so I
So
think it's a different,
It's a different deal.
deal. It's a different offer than when you came here the first time.
I had said the same things back then, but like I said, I took it out of that particular drawing, the latest drawing that you have.
So I can't tell by this map and I don't know the names of streets, but the road getting down there, will the road be all Charlestown or will it be Charlestown County, Charlestown?
What, I think it's still all,
No, it's not. Part of that, most of that is county,
yeah, it's all county.
Yeah.
That road,
but not all of it.
it becomes private after that, private road.
No,
But
I'm
who
saying
maintains
turn
it?
in the corner,
Mhm.
that's town. Halfway down, it becomes county.
But when you annex, you could annex a road or just a property or both.
Yes.
Right.
So yes, there is a portion in the middle.
You're 100% right. Renee is right.
Then we'd have to
Yeah.
allow to maintain that
She's right.
section, but we maintain the other
And
two.
part of our DPW talks,
Mhm.
the next conversation is particularly that road,
That road for
Oh,
sure.
it is. Okay.
because they're debating about the speed bump because they're saying that's county. And we said
Oh.
we were annexed in. So there's a big conversation about that road.
All right. How do you feel, Jackie?
I like the idea of having more business come in. I like the idea of it being recreational. I like where it is for that. The water and the bridge were holdups for me in December as well. The bridge in particular, the water is a problem that eventually will have to be solved anyway. So I like where this hits my ears today.
How about yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always liked it. I was opposed to the town funding a bridge because we've just got too many grants that are floating around. Yeah, yeah.
And they have done a terrific job with that area. I mean,
Yes, no, I'm impressed by
very friendly. I
Yeah.
fly by there all the time. Everybody's having a great time. It's very well ran, so I don't see a negative with this.
Just-
that they would say.
that we somehow get in writing that we're not, that somebody can't come back and start demanding
Now
town
you
water,
have water.
town services, that we gotta have this.
If everybody says, if you guys vote and say, yes, we're in favor of annexation, provided we come up with a written agreement that's agreed upon by everybody, right? I'll go ahead and start drafting up that agreement with all these terms and any additional terms that everybody wants. But the baselines are, again, that essentially that plat that we have and the shoreline rezoning are our big ticket items for this particular deal. And then we'll add in any other additional language that the town wants and that we agreed to.
Renee, how do you feel?
I'm for it. It was just the water and the bridge were my big things of sitting back. And if we can work that out, that after we get the water upgrades, that the connections can happen, then that's
we'll-
fine.
yeah.
Because that's not gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah, well, right, it may not happen for 5 to 10 years,
Yes.
but that's fine, because
Mhm.
we don't need water. Water is not part of the equation, and we'll put that into the agreement. Right?
We have two ordinances that we think that we have to change within the next year or two. The water system, you can't have a well, non-potable.
If they're hooked in,
Yeah.
as long
If
as
they have
it's
access.
if it's non-potable
Something
water,
like that,
yes.
That's part of the deal. And then no manufactured homes are permitted in town. So it'd almost be nice to see, like, within the next 2 years, some kind of major site plan submitted to the town to approve that shows the redevelopment strategy of the property, almost to make sure that kind of gets into compliance.
Well, let's keep in mind, everything essentially would be like it is right now with the county grandfathered in, right? I mean, but obviously the intent and plan is to remove all the old, the old units and, refurbish them or make them new. But of course, we all know there are floodplain requirements and critical area requirements that we have to comply with. I mean, it's no easy step, but we're not, now we'll say this, we're not looking to get annexed into the town and then the town come down on our throats and be like, oh, you need to remove this and this and this and this. Because, it essentially would be grandfathered in, just like it's all grandfathered in, because there is a lot of nonconformity there, but
It would be.
everything's nonconformity in Charlestown at the moment until they get redone.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Grandfathered in.
Yeah, right, and that's what, and you can see Kim's track record, that's what she's been doing,
Yeah, she's
slowly but surely.
Yeah,
That's
she
what
has
she's been
done it.
doing. And it's cute.
really nice job. What's the distinction between manufactured home and recreational vehicle? I would guess that it's whether it has a permanent foundation or is attached to the ground.
Well, it's a big deal for both our campgrounds in town. It's making sure those RVs are road ready, tires inflated, registration stickers are current, and they're ready to pull out as soon as you show up on the property. You gotta move.
Right.
And it can't be there year round.
No, that's not true.
No.
Our campers stay there all year.
All year now.
That's different. You're right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You didn't specify that. That's why I was like, wait a minute, no. In the floodplain, yes, because I know that in the past, in the manner this whole area, which is in town, all those campers were pulled up and moved up to the top because of the flooding.
They
So
still
they-
move those.
They just went through, essentially went through a flood.
Yeah,
down there.
Yeah,
yes, we did.
the last, I believe, if I can say something, I believe it's like the last 2 or 3 years, we have not pulled them out. They're up on, Jeff has these things that he made that they all pull their campers, so they're up off the ground.
Right.
And there was not one camper down there with this last flood that got flooded. Not one took water at all inside.
Okay.
Hey, Kim,
Yes.
don't some of the people still move their campers out during the winter?
There's a couple people that do take them home because they
Yeah,
put
I
them
thought so.
in their pole barn and stuff.
Yeah, and then they come back.
And then they come back. And there's 2 people that pulled theirs out this year because they got new campers.
Right.
So where is that gonna lie?
Our ordinance says what? And I know it's grandfathered, but this is different.
Well, in floodplains, I mean, you could be a camper, trailer in a floodplain in a campground. So long as you're road ready, I mean, there's all kinds of standards. I don't know them all off the top of my head, but I believe one of them is you can only be in that spot 180 days out of any given year.
That's not in our thing.
You have to do that.
Mm-mm. No,
No, ours is, no,
Can't
it's
be.
not.
no, it's not.
Ours is that you just can't be staying there. You can only stay there from April 1st to October 31st, and then they have to be closed
Mhm.
up.
Yes. Because that's the same as Holloway.
And you're telling me that all the campers in Holloway and the Manor move every 180 days? That does not happen.
Yeah,
No.
no way.
Not true.
Not at all.
So we can flesh out all this.
Right.
Um,
I just wanted to be forthcoming
Yeah,
up
I'm with
front.
it. I'm with you.
What I was getting at about the flood was
The county something.
the owners of the campers already dealt with that. They're dealing with it now. So it's not gonna be something that's gonna change.
Change,
It's
right.
it's their,
No,
their,
they
That-
know it.
that's
They've lived it, Rob.
what I was going for. That was, my intent.
Okay, there is a motion. Is there any further, is there a second to the motion, or does anybody want to change the motion?
Well, I just want to make sure that we do all the due diligence before we take a
And that
final
could be-
vote.
That could be
But
a tentative, like a tentatively
Yes.
yes until. we-
yes,
And that's what
yes,
I'll be the one to know. We're all wanting to move forward
It
with.
could be conditioned upon a final agreement.
Yeah.
Between the town and.
Yes.
Right.
yeah,
So
that's,
if we don't
that's,
come to a final agreement, there's no annexation.
Yeah.
But to move forward, to
We-
get to that
we
final.
gotta have the preliminary,
We're
yes,
doing this with the intent.
yes,
Right.
I would agree to that.
And I think I would amend the motion to make us have to do the work to take a look at the impact to our current ordinances.
Hmm.
And I was just gonna say, keep in mind, you already have half that campground in Charlestown
That is true.
as it
Right.
is.
To make sure
I was going to say,
one language here.
All right, does anybody want to kind of change the motion that it's tentative to be?
Lou, would you like a motion again?
there's been so much. There's been so much back and forth now. I still would leave it the way it is, but it is tentative among, gosh, I know Kathy's probably going, huh? What do you want me to write here? There's so much that really needs to be put in there. All right, Renee, go ahead. I know you're dying too, so
No, I didn't, I'm asking you.
I know it was tentative that about the water, but I think it should still be a broad-based, open thing where it was just as per agreed upon by both parties. Because if we don't agree on it and they don't agree on it, then it will not pass. You see what I'm saying? And that kind of covers everything.
Be a simple motion that the board
Exactly.
To,
okay, do you see what I'm saying?
to
That's what I'm
explore.
trying.
And then it covers everything other,
Okay.
because if we sit here and try to list every single little thing that we just talked about, it's going to be the longest motion we've ever done.
I'm not saying it.
Okay. We'll amend the motion to that we will preliminarily approve going forward,
Mhm.
both
With
parties
the annexation
with the annexation,
of Charlestown Manor Campground.
with both parties mutually agreeing, when we see the final document,
Exactly. And that kind of covers everything.
conditioned upon both parties when we,
Both.
yes,
Terms of annexation.
yes.
Yes, with the terms of the annexation. Is that good enough, Carl?
So 1 second.
Take
so that
every
we
other
can get
word.
Kathy's stuff in here. So just 1 second.
I am not saying anything else.
Every single word is important. Approve,
I'm still lucky that I'm here.
1 second. Go ahead, Brian.
approve the annexation agreement conditioned upon acceptance of all terms.
Yeah, I second that motion.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on this?
No.
Dear.
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Yeah.
Greatly, we appreciate it. I know Ms. Lloyd is looking for a very healthy, productive relationship completely in the town of Charlestown. So
Thank
we'll
you.
work toward getting this agreement to, worked out and speaking with you, whoever's in charge or the
Yes.
contact person. I guess Brian is initially. And again, we thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much, Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening, Mr. Buckley.
Thank you, folks. I appreciate your time.
Oh, you can have this back.
You can work with.
I want to skip ahead because we have other guests. We'll come back to you, Julie. Give me 1 moment, okay? There's an RFP that was put together for engineering.
We could do the comprehensive plan first.
Okay, is that who it is? Okay, I'm sorry, I missed it.
Martin here is with WGI. I think we have,
Was it good, honey?
Tim.
Yes.
Yeah, she should mute.
Okay,
On that.
the two, all the ones that put in, that submitted their, the RFP, they were interviewed and we all got the email regarding the outcome of that. And it looks like I tell you what. It's, I have too many screens that I need to open. I'm so sorry. You sent it last night. I know you did. There. Okay. It looks like there was Mead and Hunt, WGI Inc., and Tim Fordshire. I'm gonna butcher that name. How do you say it? Ford.
Tim, I'm gonna ask you to unmute just to pronounce, so to get your last name pronounced correctly, because that's important to it.
And I don't mean to butcher your name. I really don't.
It's not an easy one. It's Borsier.
Borsier. Okay. I can do that one.
That was gonna be my guess, but only because I took French class.
I did not take French class, so, anyway, everybody was interviewed, and everybody got the scoring.
Yes.
Is there anybody that would, and there was some, references that were checked too. Is there anybody that would like to ask any questions to the ones that are here?
So
No?
we got all three consultants here. If there's any questions for me on the process, I mean, all three were great. We're certainly excited to update the comprehensive plan this year. I mean, talking about annexation, whether it be piecemeal or kind of holistic, these are big decisions we're trying to make. And we want to be as knowledgeable as possible about, you know, all the ramifications, big picture, economic development, infrastructure, parks and recreation, kind of everything. And so all three consultants were good and put together pretty good proposals on how to update our plan. All three would be available, you know, as we needed. They all had good timelines. You know, getting the project done within about a year. Price is basically the same. When we actually revised the scope of the RFP and said, hey, based on what we heard and what in some of the interviews, it seems like we could do the whole plan, not just our grant funded portion. Let's update the whole thing, and can you give us a price? And they were all at the same cost, which is great for us. Basically, almost 100% funded by a grant. So it came down to the interview scores and whatever you all may have liked or had questions about with their approaches. I mean, some of their approaches were a little bit different. You know, they weren't all the same, but they're all professional planners. Certainly all had good ideas.
But what's the recommendation?
Well,
That was very,
Well, looking at
Yeah,
the numbers and the points, it was based on that, it was Mead and Hunt.
I don't disagree. I'm just,
Yeah.
I wanted it said.
Based on what everything came down to,
Yeah.
but now it's up to the rest of the board to make a motion or have any other questions or.
I thought all presentations were good. I mean, they were all well done, and so I wouldn't have any issue making a motion to go with Mead and Hunt.
Okay. There's one motion. Is there a second?
I would second the motion to go with Mead and Hunt.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Then we will go with Mead and Hunt as for our comprehensive plan.
Jim, I'm asking you to unmute. Are you aye or nay on that vote?
I did say aye.
Okay, we just didn't hear
Yeah.
you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're getting major feedback, so sometimes we are from you. So it's not that we don't want to hear you. It's just sometimes we mute it because there's major feedback. So apologies. Okay. Let's go back.
Brian, this is Jamie Kendrick at Mead and Hunt. I just want to say good evening to you all. Thank you for your confidence. We look forward to working with you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So let's go back to Julie. We need to do a budget amendment, which happens with everything because we put a preliminary budget together and then we're not using money in this account, but we're using it over here. So we need to make all of our accounting numbers match to what we're actually using and take from what we're not using. So, Julie, even though I probably botched that up because you are an accountant, If you could go ahead.
That was perfect. The budget that was approved, we had based that on a couple of things, on future plans, and also on on prior expenditures and how they were spent in the past, how different categories were spent in the past. So the purpose of this mid-year budget amendment proposed budget amendments is to align the actual expenditures halfway through the year with what the budget may end up looking like at the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30, and so that we have a better idea of so it just aligns up our expenditures with our budget. So most of them are little. There are a couple of funding funding budget amendments. One was to fund the position of code enforcement officer for half a year since you started in January. So I moved a bit of money into that category. Also, there are a couple of expenditure categories that have unusual expenditures. There was the pier. Let's see if I can find that one. Actually, that's on the budget to actual. The pier, we had put that fire suppression system in, and I'm not sure if we're able to capitalize that or not. I need some advice on that from our auditors. So that's over budget, and I did not do a budget amendment for that. We'll do that at the end of the year. And along those lines, there will be another budget amendment request at the end of the year to make everything line up. That's one of the things that the auditors look at, and it has to be approved by the board. So what we have right now is really just moving budget money around between and amongst the expenditures. Nothing is very unusual. None of the budget money is being moved between funds. So the utility fund has a zero balance. The money that's being moved around is there's no effect on the bottom line. In the general fund, there is an increase to some of our revenue accounts. And one in particular is the gas and motor tax. We received a letter that we're going to get approximately $30,000 more than they had originally estimated for fiscal year 2024. So I put that in the budget amendment as well, so that our revenue budgets will line up. And then that money is going to be used in the expenditure categories. Part of that increase will be used for the code enforcement officer. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about what's being moved and the purpose of the budget amendments?
You do an awesome job, Julie.
Oh,
I
gosh.
know I talked to you and you set me straight, and I really appreciate everything that you've done over this past year and taking over and getting everything to get to this point, so that things can be pulled to see what we are actually using, and not that we were going over, but to see it in writing. This is great.
It's just way more organized.
Thank you very much, Julie. It's awesome.
But we need to
Thank you for that. Yeah.
The physical amendment.
We need to do a budget amendment resolution 2024-01, Town of Charlestown, whereas a resolution by the president and the Charlestown Board of Commissioners to align the budget for accounts with actual expenditures, attached budget amendment. And whereas the president of the town establishes the purpose of this budget amendment mid-year in order to minimize amendments at the end of the fiscal year, whereas town commissioners recognize their authority to implement best practices in budgeting, and therefore be it resolved that the president and the Charlestown Board of Commissioners do hereby approve the amendment for the fiscal year And be it further resolved that the amendment will be completed as part of the budget process as adopted and be placed in the file in the office of the town administrator dated 13th day of February 2024 at Charlestown, Maryland. And then it has all of our signatures. This is one big step for us because if I remember correctly, tell me if I'm wrong, last year we were doing this at the end of the budget and not partway through. So this is a big step for us. What is the number of that? 2024 what?
Yes,
01.
So is there a motion for the amendment?
As treasurer, I'll make a motion that, that we sign this amendment to the budget so everything lines up.
I'll second the motion to align our budget.
Okay, there is a motion and a second to approve budget amendment resolution 2024-01. Is there any further discussion?
No.
All in favor? Aye.
Lou,
We lost it.
Okay.
Wilson,
Julie, I'm showing love here because you're awesome. Okay.
Appreciate that.
The town engineer, the RFP, Brian and Richard and Rob interviewed, the ones that put in for this companies. This is part of not having a complete packet that you have these various emails over here.
Yeah, let me tell you, that would have been the world's biggest meeting. I put those 2 RFP proposals
Yeah.
in with everything else.
It helps me. I can't. Okay,
What I could have done was put it all together and then email a hyperlink that you click on.
that's fine too. That's fine too. Okay. But for me to go back and forth, that's hurting my head. Okay, so I know, because you've done it before, that one that was like 1 million pages, there was a hyperlink, but going back and forth. So can you explain the names and everything so that the general public can?
So we interviewed 2 relatively local engineering companies, Bayland out of the Annapolis area and Dewberry, they're all closest offices out of Owens Mills. Bayland, I think, what they say, they were like 500 employees.
I thought they were 50. And Dewberry's 2,000.
Sorry,
correct.
I didn't get either number right. Bayland, I think is kind of Maryland, maybe they're regional. Dewberry, I think is national, international.
Mhm.
But what we got out of talking with them, asking them a bunch of interview questions was like, they almost had like a local feel to them, even though they're a bigger company. And we thought that, out of all, and Rob and Richard and I, we threw a lot of questions at them.
At both.
From different angles at both candidates, right? And it just seemed like Dewberry was more invested, not only in the interview, but the thought of helping us for the next 3 years, kind of thinking out second and third order
That would be
consequences of actions.
awesomeness.
I mean,
They came up with answers rather than kicking the can down the curb. They were very
Yeah.
engaging. Any questions that we had, they were able to come with a response. And they all chimed in. Each one of them that were representative of the company just chimed in. The other company, Bayland, they were not as engaging.
No, not at all.
And we tried to do scenarios and they would not give us any solutions.
Right.
Even though that they were hypothetical, they just would not
And
engage.
from a continuity point of view, and we've got a stormwater management plan that we're going to enact. And it just seemed their descriptions of follow through just make it more continuity. They also have slightly more capabilities. They both have the capabilities, but Dewberry has a roads department in the company, and they have a water department in the company. And Bayland has an agreement with a second company for water capabilities. So it made more sense to stay in-house and work with someone that could do all the capabilities, civil engineering included. If we have to recrown roads and stuff like that, I thought that Dewberry had more expertise in doing that in conjunction with stormwater management. And the emphasis would be on solving the problems of the town through everything that they're doing. And it seemed, and just personality wise, they were light years.
They wouldn't just fix one issue and forget about the other. They would take the whole issue and come up with a plan. The roads, the drains, I agree with Richard. It felt,
When we were kind of talking about this RFP process before getting started, we were thinking, it might be hard to find an engineer that could do everything. We might have to sub out like different pieces. Richard asked him a question like, can you guys design a bridge? Dewberry, again, they can do just about anything that we could come up with in-house.
Okay.
and they have had long-term employees.
Yeah.
I know personally dealing with them, over the past year with the stormwater, they are right there. If you ask, it's not like we have to wait weeks for an answer. I feel as if they care about what's going on here. They seem to have pride in what they do in their work. So is there a motion? Is there any further discussion?
I motion to go ahead with Dewberry for our engineer,
Town
town
engineer.
engineer.
Okay,
I'll second it.
second. Okay, we have a first and a second. Is there any further discussion?
No,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And that Lou has dropped off. Okay.
A whole lot of people did. All right, it's over.
Yeah, the threesome.
Yeah. Now that whole thing is
Sad.
and tomorrow, Mary, you need to look at the video before
Block it
it
out.
block half the first part of the video out
Crazy.
and put an apology
Yeah.
with it saying that we got hacked and it was wow.
Don't worry, I will edit that out.
has these meetings been hacked before like that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We just never saw it.
That,
Yeah.
I think that was when I noticed, I started looking closer at the names, like, and there was like 3 or 4 names.
I knew what you were looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look
Trying
a little
not to be
closer.
derailed here. Let's get back to business.
All right. I know what you're doing there.
Did you accidentally hit history?
Okay, so town staff job
Okay.
description.
One of the things that I've asked town hall to do is to look at job descriptions. And we have 2 of them that have been redone, and more written to what they do. This is not for a pay increase. This is more of making sure that we have, more defined of what our employees do. The first one is to changing the office manager position to an assistant town administrator. I don't know if you had time to look over this. It was well written, the things that Mary is doing, and now it is reflected into a job description. The second one that was looked at that hasn't actually been named is Bobby over here, and to actually name him the Director of Public Works, because he's the supervisor. So going forward, they're going to be relooking at all the job descriptions, but these are the 2 that we have gotten so far. And I would like any discussions on these 2, or or a motion that we approve these changes?
I don't have any comments. I thought they were very well written. In fact, I mean, it's like a job posting. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like government. It's,
Thing I noticed
yeah.
is there is not updated job descriptions here,
Right.
and it needs done, and we need to start
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I would make a motion to approve if everyone else does.
I second the emotion.
okay, seconded. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion about the two, job title changes?
No.
All in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? The ayes have it. Director of Public Works.
And congratulations, Mary and
Bobby.
and Bobby.
Thank
And Bob,
you.
you have to start wearing a suit.
So now what do we call you, Bobby?
The same thing. we're all-
Sir, capital S.
Calling late for dinner.
Oh, no. Don't worry, man.
Aw.
All good.
Okay, we have another, this is because somebody resigned,
Mm.
another one resigned, right?
Yeah, we had a total of 3 vacancies on the Historic District Commission. With this one, one member was just appointed last month. So with this considered appointment, it would be 1 vacancy left.
Mhm.
So we're trying to get people interested in our Historic District.
Tom has been around for a while, he, I know that in the past, he's wanted to become part of doing things in town. So I think it would be a good thing. We all have to step in
Yeah.
somewhere to do things with the town. Is there a motion or any further discussion?
Yeah, I can motion that we approve Tom for historic
Well,
commission.
this is different, Tom.
Not me.
Oh,
It's
It's not
That's
him.
what I
Tom Kenny.
Tom Kenny.
yeah.
Would you like to be on it?
Tom, just give it a go.
I thought you
I was
were
like,
gonna say, either Tom will take.
Tom Kenny.
Tom Kenny for historic district commission.
And he is a resident of the town, right? Okay.
Right?
All right, so there's a motion and a second? Okay, is there any further discussion?
I
Pardon me?
second.
I'll second. All right.
I think Rob did. I did.
Okay,
I did twice. You guys just didn't hear faces.
Uh-huh.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next one I'm gonna kind of talk about. This came up and it was brought up at the zoning, and I'm the liaison with the zoning. And it was recommended that, from the zoning board, that we do not change our zoning ordinance. This particular property, can you please pull this property up? And it would be easily explained. I know there was some discussion about this property because they put this letter in. Part of the reason that our zoning changed is because of safety and being able to see. This particular property is a corner lot. Can you put it, there we
Which
go,
one?
okay?
115.
Mhm.
There.
All right, now put up there the lines of what they would like. And I'll explain part of the safety issue.
The permit that Ken and I received showed a 6-foot tall privacy fence.
Does anybody see a problem with this? Our zoning is that they have to go 15 feet because it's a corner lot. So yes, take
Mhm.
the setback 15 feet, but putting it there. Do you see what's
Mhm.
to the right? They
Yeah.
will not be able to
Yeah.
see out.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
part of
Safety
why
issue.
we have is because of safety, even if it was up on the corner, to be able to see around the corner.
Mhm.
So if he puts that 15, if he puts that fence up there, it would block the driveway that the person would not be able to get in and out.
Right.
Corner lots are understandably tricky. They have two front setbacks that are 30 feet. They don't have a rear setback. even though
Right.
They
Right.
sort of have a rear yard, it's two side yards.
Mhm.
So within a front yard, fence heights are restricted to 3 feet.
Right. But now he wanted to put in a pool. The line now that you're showing, that's what the town will allow, right?
That's the front.
Can he still?
You can have a fence in the front setback, it just can't be any taller than.
Right, yes, yeah, but could he put a pool in with that fence?
Over here.
Yeah.
He could, he's not proposing a pool, it's just.
Oh, I thought it was for a pool.
No, this
Oh,
is just
okay.
the fence.
Oh.
So where you have it marked coming from that access point right there, that's 15 foot back from the side?
No, that's 30 from the front. Like, this is the front because it's Tarpon Street right here, that. So it's 30 feet, and you see, that's what the house adhered to.
So you're calling Tarpon Street the front?
I thought it was 15.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
sorry.
I would say, cause he
You're
said
not
30.
calling, Saratoga the front?
See.
They're both front, they're both fronts.
But then,
Corner
yeah, the
lot.
driveway and the front door face Saratoga.
And when we came up with this was also a recommendation from the state,
Mm-hmm.
the one that was helping us with the zoning.
We had the state planner looking at it, because, it's not just from a safety standpoint, there's aesthetics that come into play too.
Mhm.
Trying to have more uniform front yards, and it's just tougher for corner lots. to
Yeah,
Have two fronts.
And they
Yeah.
were going with a 6 foot privacy fence?
'Cause I think their story, they have dogs. A 3 foot fence wouldn't keep them in.
And I do
Safety
sympathize
concern.
with that,
The
but
dog
I
jumping.
do too. And
Or
Ken
child.
Complin, the chairman of the planning commission, he said, Brian, look at in the zoning definition of front yards. It does say that at least we could interpret it this way. That we could look at Saratoga as the primary front and Tarpon as the secondary front. And possibly reduce that secondary front yard to 15 feet instead of 30.
Along Tarpon.
But that would be an interpretation question that we'd have to.
But where does the, in that,
the second one would be 15.
So, well, I hear what you're
but
saying.
from the front, so, cause I know there are some,
That's the secondary front, right?
yes, how far from that blue line at the front can he go towards the backyard? Where is the line where it's distinguishing we're now on the backside? You know what I mean? So not in line.
Here, it'd be right here. That front yard is 15 feet.
Yeah, okay, let me,
She's talking about the house behind it.
no, I'm gonna point. So there are homes that have fences, I need a point.
But that was,
Need
we
a
changed,
laser.
we,
I do.
Jackie, we also changed zoning this year.
Oh, okay, yeah, so that's. From there to there is the deciding line of where his backyard begins.
I guess you could argue it's right here.
Yeah, behind his house.
Behind house, so it's not like halfway.
Yeah, because it had to be a setback behind it. His back of his house had to be a setback from the back property line.
Okay.
So that would set that.
And that would be the change in ordinance.
So what I was proposing
Or is it
was
zoning?
was to confirm with the town attorney that we could make exceptions like this at the planning commission level, not having to go to the Board of Appeals for a
Mhm.
variance to reduce the fence height, to reduce a secondary front to 15 feet, to reduce a secondary front yard to 15 feet.
Mhm. It's
I don't
reasonable.
know if this particular property owner would like that. They may still apply for a variance. So they could go to the Board of Appeals to
Well, it would be
allow a taller.
I think,
a waste of $400.
I think that what you just proposed
I-
would be safe.
It's
Yeah.
a
And
reasonable
it would, and it
accommodation.
would
And,
be aesthetically, it'd still look
Yeah,
good.
We
right,
agree
and
with
it doesn't
that.
impede
and it
on the
doesn't,
neighbor.
and it
What-
doesn't
Exactly.
impede
Yeah,
So
safety wise.
Right.
I think,
Opinion of that, still a partial obstruction. Yeah, it's not as much of an obstruction as 6 foot privacy right up to that front property line, almost the sidewalk. But it's certainly, a car length back, it's safer.
yes, I mean, everybody, they can see all around.
Because the one of the main things is a kid's gonna come down that driveway on a bicycle and Yeah, it is at the end, but there's two houses right there. So you're
Right.
gonna see the kid or
Mhm.
you're gonna do all that. And that was the main thing that part of what we had talked about with our
Mhm.
zoning is not to block sight lines.
So Renee, this particular resident wrote a letter to the town commissioner saying, hey, would you all consider changing? the Planning commission felt like, no, it should stay exactly as it is.
And I was asked to bring that here, so I did. As much as I do understand what he is trying to say, I also have to, the reason things were changed is because of safety.
I think it's a situation. I think it needs to be a case by case.
And what kind
of fence
are they putting in?
It's a privacy, vinyl privacy.
If, as you say, if Ken's okay with doing a 15-foot setback there, I mean, the two options are, one, you get Bestie because he's very good at zoning and planning. That's one of his specialities. Or he goes to the Board of Appeals. In either case, if we put it in front of Bestie, we ought to have the guy pay the legal fee. So that, because it's going to be about the same difference as.
We don't have that in our stuff. That's
Oh.
stuff that we need to work on.
Oh, okay. I mean, because what I was going to say, it would balance between doing that or Board of Appeals. And Board of Appeals actually probably costs the town more because you got to have the court reporter and.
$450.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
400.
400.
The
Yeah.
application fee, but yeah.
Okay. Well, if
And
we
that
can't do
pays
that.
for
Yeah.
Bestie and the court reporter
Yeah.
here.
Right. Okay. All right. Then maybe he's got to go to the Board of Appeals. Because I don't think the town ought to spend money on Bestie.
No, we have it would be no different than, he's asking for an opinion. So it
Oh.
would be no different than we're asking for an opinion
Oh,
on
okay.
ourselves. Zoning has their own
Yeah.
legal allotted money,
Right.
whereas
Okay.
we have their own too.
Right.
So it's more of an opinion to
Okay.
make sure.
All right.
Important part of it.
What is how does zoning feel?
They came and they said not to change the,
Planning commission?
yeah, they asked not to change
Yeah.
175-35. They asked not to change it.
Mhm.
And it was unanimous. There wasn't like
Discussion.
discussion.
Mhm.
And it is, like, if you look at that definition. in
Well,
front of you,
not, yeah.
It is. it's not
Unversed
worded
too.
perfectly. It's a little gray.
Mhm.
So that's why Ken and I feel comfortable asking the attorney, like, could you interpret it this way?
But Ken
We just want to be consistent. Is the law good enough for us to be consistent?
does believe, though, we can make discretionary
Him,
decisions.
Richard,
Well,
him.
no,
Oh, I thought it was Ken Confalone.
Ken Confalone pointed it out, but after we discussed it, I really liked it.
So
Ken changed his mind. He thought we should just leave it as 30-foot, get a variance. No 15-foot.
Oh, he did? Yeah.
He brought it up.
Oh,
Looked at it, and then he said, "No, I don't like it."
I would agree to get Bestie's opinion. I don't have a problem with it at the 15, but I definitely have a problem that it's blocking and changing it.
mhm.
And for Ken and I mean, learning experience, if we know we got this tool in our tool chest to reduce a secondary front to 15, that could help in the future. May not help this property. They may
Mhm.
still decide they want to.
Sure.
I really honestly think the one on Tarpon already has a fence up. All one drove by today.
Oh, this one here.
All the way to end. I think they already have. a fence
They
up.
do.
They do.
I think it's like a little white picket fence
They
thing.
Take a fence to a point and then
Mhm.
it becomes the privacy. all of that.
Yeah.
Told them that this front yard is only 3 feet, and they were okay with that.
So they already have one out to about
Mhm.
halfway out to drive it.
Okay. Big lot.
All right. So find out.
We will.
All right.
While we're on that topic, and even, remember Bestie, we were talking about code enforcement in general. If you guys all as commissioners, especially now that Ken's here, one thing that's on his to-do list is like abandoned vehicles
Mhm.
and seeing if we need to update that code. And things like that.
Yeah.
If you guys drive around town, a little bit of time.
I've got pictures.
Just come up, you don't even need pictures. Just give us a list of addresses of things
Yeah.
that bother you. We'll look into them and then we'll come back to you guys and say, all right, what do you think? Do we need to change laws? Like, what are the most bothersome to you or things you feel like we need to focus on?
Okay,
Priorities.
that's good.
I understand what you're saying there.
He worked on it, he got some of them.
Shouldn't it be just if a vehicle doesn't have a tag, if a boat is not being used, or if this is not being used, this is what it is,
Well,
and
we
afterwards
just
it'll be
found out.
towed, or is there something like
We
that?
just found out that one of the vehicles that has been sitting with the right stickers on it is actually registered, and it has 4 flat tires. And the sheriff's department will not do anything about it because it's a registered car.
Right, so it's a loophole, Rob,
Mm.
right now.
So
Even if you
that's
don't
the
have a
answer to
sticker,
that.
sheriff's office looks into it and
And they
sees that
look
it's
at the
registered,
VIN
they
number.
can't tow it. But if it's
Interesting.
abandoned, we could update our code basically, like we need to know what bothers us. See if we need to change the code so that we could tow it, the town.
That was
Mm.
one of the
Right.
vehicles that I had been looking at because it does not have the sticker on for 2 years now, but it's a registered vehicle
That's on,
and it's on a town street.
it's like the sheriff's office.
You see,
Tagged
Mm.
or unregistered.
it's a dead end of a street.
Wow.
Mm.
The ordinance does say
Oh.
that even if it's registered, if it has an invalid plate on it, then we should and could do something about it.
The sheriff, yeah, but the sheriff's not going to push it.
Be up to us.
We could do, and yeah, that's the next step, like we could do something about it. What do we want that procedure?
Okay,
Are
so
we all
let's,
in agreement on what
so
that is?
let's look at the reality after procedure. You will have someone come into that door,
Yeah.
and you will be catching everything there is to catch.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying be deterred from this. I just,
Mm.
reality's
Yeah.
gonna be. As soon as you hook up to someone else's vehicle, no matter what shape it's in or anything like that, they will come here and you will have to deal with it.
A whole other level of code enforcement.
Um,
And that's why we want to be all on the same page.
Good point.
now this is this like with that annexing in, I understand, might not need the town people to chime in. But as far as I'm concerned, the only reason we are here is because of the town people. That's it, point blank. So I always feel that they should have something to say about it. And I don't know if it's something that.
I'm
if
in
anybody
agreement
wants to-
with that. And just because something was done a certain way in the past,
Doesn't mean it needs to continue.
correct.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
don't,
no different than when all of that on the other side of 7 was annexed in. That was annexed before I moved here to town. So I don't know how that procedure went. I just know that it is a lengthy procedure. And for being one property and only being that, it is different than putting 60 homes. But I still think we need
the
to,
town needs to know, it's like that we are
Right.
here as a voice and a tool for.
I agree
residents.
with that.
That's it, straight up.
Can we just couple that in, public comment into our meetings that we have with the neighborhoods, or
But we're
make
gonna
a
have to,
special
we're
announcement
gonna have
that
to do it,
we have to do it.
come,
quicker,
Yeah.
sooner than later.
It's going to have to be part of the annexation process. It's a separate.
it's its own separate meeting.
Because no matter what goes on with these
Just heard
vehicles,
that's
and no
all
matter
we're
how
talking
we
about.
personally feel about it. If we can't do anything about it, and if we don't do so, if you put it in there and you don't follow the rules,
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
it's a waste of
That's right.
time. And so I'm just
Right.
bringing it all up there, so if the
Right.
town is gonna fight you every step of the way,
Maybe that's something to consider.
then, I don't know. Like I said, I'm all for getting stuff out that's been sitting there and not being used. I agree with that. I think we need to get a little feedback. I mean, cleaner town's a prettier town, 100%. I don't know if that just kicked the can down the curve on everybody or what, but I'm up for, doing what it takes to make the town cleaner, prettier, safe. But just realize these are gonna be the repercussions, and do we think we need feedback from the town members? And I know a lot of them don't show up, a lot of them don't voice, but at least if you put it out there and 5 people say something, 3 say yay, 2 say no, the majority say yay, or vice versa.
Mhm.
And that's just one person talking.
Yeah. You're about to say, Mary, I have a question for you.
Yes.
And Brian, the email that I received is that the candidate forum is on a different day than what is posted.
Yes, I meant to remind you to update that.
That needs to be updated.
Yeah,
And-
that's gonna be
and
updated today.
Questions like we have in the past? Okay,
Yeah.
'cause it's next Tuesday or what, next Wednesday, and we don't have them yet.
Oh, we get to get them in advance.
The public, can the public go and ask questions
Yes.
or, yes, okay,
Submit them ahead of
We
time.
haven't
Right.
gotten any questions submitted just yet.
okay.
Oh, but we have questions.
Oh, you have
I
questions?
know, they
Yeah.
do.
But I am gonna send out a reminder after this meeting with a new date and encourage everyone to submit
Yeah.
questions.
Cause the Facebook is still showing the wrong date
Yeah, I just haven't gotten to it.
On the town website.
and the town website and all of that above, okay?
Well, now you're the assistant town manager,
Check
so,
that.
step it up.
Okay. There was a question that was on, and I'm gonna post it now that we have got our comprehensive plan and all that, but I just want to talk about it real quick. About the fact that the town is going to tear down Fairgreens Park. Period.
Gosh.
Okay. We are not, part of our comprehensive plan is that we are going to be working on this plan, getting public input similar to what we did with the stormwater plan, and taking the information we get from the public and working it towards what we need to do. Whether it be to expand it, move it, get new equipment, because that was some of the things that some of the people wanted to get new equipment, other ones didn't. But ultimately, we need to work just like we did with the
Yeah.
stormwater thing because we listened. So I don't know where that came from, but we are not getting rid of a playground. So however things work out with our public comment is where the town will go with that.
Mhm.
Okay? I don't know where that came from. I
don't know either, but it seems as if things pop up, and then when they do a little stir and then something gets answered correct, they pull it right back down.
Yeah.
they
I mean, that's just what
delete
I've
it.
noticed.
So I wanted that to be there.
Mhm.
It was done late last night and then this morning it was deleted.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Who will, tomorrow, firehouse,
No, there's nothing.
Thursday.
Thursday?
Is it this
firehouse.
week or
Yeah.
next week?
No, we have Trinity this week.
Town hall. with
I'm
Trinity.
gonna try like a Dickens to get there. I want to be there.
This is
but
Trinity
I
and
do have a
Trinity
work thing at
Preserves.
5:30.
Okay.
Part of this community is an HOA, part is not.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting.
Different,
If I can get out of this work thing at 5:30.
similar to what's gonna happen at
Right,
Stockton.
if I come in, it's gonna be either a little bit
Yeah.
after or right there at it.
Okay.
Job thing.
Similar thing.
Yeah.
We're here to listen. Because these haven't been done. We need to hear what everybody says. I will again say some of the answers we will not be able to answer today. Some of
Yeah.
them we can. Some of them will be that we need to do a little research on, but just so that we get it out there and that we can start moving ahead. And we talked when Scott Gardens, we were talking about possibly doing this quarterly.
Mhm.
And I hope whoever is on the board come in another month that continues. We have not scheduled this side of town, but we
Right.
need to do that too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we want to split it up. I don't know. We can do however, but we need to do all the communities, not just
Yeah, right, yeah,
development.
yeah.
My opinion.
Mhm.
The end of this month, I will be attending the mayor's conference. Going to be meeting with legislators. We'll be meeting with the gov, having dinner over at the governor's house. One of the classes that they are going to be talking to us about is AI and government. One of the things that I've been talking about it at work. One of the things I saw on one of the social media pages on how to use it. So one of the things that I think it would be great if we could figure out what services we can get here is when we do an account of a situation that has happened, is that we write it and all of our emotions are in that.
Mhm.
If you dump it into AI, they take the emotions out and it's still the same concept, but it's
Right.
so that is one thing. And one of my supervisor did it the other day and she goes, oh my gosh. So it's still your words,
Right.
but it's taking out.
Yeah. The
So
venom.
that's just one thing that I see that will be useful for us. I'm kind of really excited to hear what other things that are out there.
Right.
AI is not going away.
No.
There's different services out there and it's something that going forward, it's something to think about. Am I saying for it to write all of our stuff? No, but to take it and throw it in there and fix it. But and then the following week after that is the election. So we have a very busy the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Biden administration said we can do mail-in votes.
And stuffing,
I would like to go.
All legal.
ballot stuffing.
Who's online? And then I'll ask Tom and Bobby. if they can say-
This looks like you got,
A phone.
443-309-1553. Is that Robin?
I think that's Robin.
Just asking you to unmute Robin if you can hear us.
Robin.
Hi, it's Robin. Yes.
Hello. Hi, Robin.
Hi. Hi, guys. I don't have any questions.
All right. Thank you so much for listening and sorry about being hacked and the things that you were saying online.
She just had to hear him. She didn't get to see.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it's no problem.
okay. Okay. Tom, did you have
All
any?
right. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later, Robin.
If you wasn't here in person, I would be thinking you were the one hacking. That's all I'm saying.
Uh-oh.
Not that good.
Okay.
Mary, do you have anything?
Just thank you for motioning and approving Bobby and I to have our upgraded titles. I think Bobby is, he works so hard and deserves it.
You both do.
Yeah,
That's
do
why
you?
I say,
I want
you
to
know,
second that motion.
Ken, you're new to all this. Do you have anything?
Enlightening. I'll tell you that. I have been in these 10, 12 years ago for things that this was much more positive than my experience 10 to 12 years ago.
Glad to hear
I'm
that.
glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Actually, can I say one thing?
No.
Teddy Roosevelt. All right, and I won't say. Teddy Roosevelt is gonna be at the Wellwood, for a President's Day brunch. This is a renowned, character interpreter. His name's, Bill Rose. I always say it wrong, but, and it's to benefit Colonial Charlestown.
Okay.
Tickets are still available, and they can be gotten online, or you just scan the QR code. But if you would be interested, we need all the attendees. This is my wife
So what
asked
time?
me to shill this. I think it's at, it starts at 12 and brunch is served at 12:15 and entertainment starts at 1.
Ice cream?
Ice Splash is
Yeah, one ice cream.
It's the 24th.
the 24th.
We can scoop our own ice cream through.
Yes, that's available. Yes, it is.
Ice Splash, I need to bring this up with our board.
Mhm.
Last year, it was 3 of us that were trying to direct traffic over at Avalon, and that was not enough.
Right.
We talked about that.
Okay, so need help
Okay.
directing traffic over there. It's quick. It's like everybody rushes in
Right.
and then they're all
I
gone.
thought that's
Right.
what we decided.
1, 2, we talked last year about the fact of the vendors, that we open it up to the ones that are raising money, all the restaurants, I think
Mhm.
there's 5 of them that are going around, to open it up to them as well, that they can be doing things down there to help.
The American Legion is already working with those groups.
They are now.
They wanna.
They're not going to, not gonna happen what happened last year, right? Okay.
No other vendors allowed.
Mhm.
Other
Just-
than American Legion is working with.
Just the ones that are raising the money, right? Okay, because that was no,
They have different groups.
no. That's why please make sure of that, because the one guy, when we had other vendors going down there, he came down there screaming at everybody.
Yeah, he did.
He came down screaming at everybody saying, Larry said, I'm the only one down here. So
All I'm saying,
Can we get a confirmation from the vendors or whom's gonna be saying this is who's coming?
yeah,
this is-
because some of the ones that were the restaurants that are helping to rate that are the teams,
yeah,
they would like to set up tables there.
I'm saying they're already.
They have not been.
That doesn't have anything to do with it, other than it being a. business
Okay.
club. They
Uh,
should be talking. to
We,
them.
last year, we said that will happen. So I'm saying we need to make sure that happens,
So you're picking up what we're putting down? We're
okay?
putting down that we don't care should. We're saying, I know the town is involved because we're gonna be involved. So we don't want any hiccups.
And we don't want what happened last year.
Bobby's
That
feelings got
person-
hurt.
No, he didn't.
Okay, that person, he was not a nice person,
Yeah,
so.
there was a lot going on there. That was a whole lot being said. And then the poor girl having to move her, what
She left.
was she have? She had like, she was spending something, what she saw.
Crystal's Creations.
Yeah, or something. And
Oh, yeah.
she was like in tears and I said, well, set up at Avalon. They can't say anything. She rolled.
She did.
Wow.
She said, I'm not doing that. I'm out of here. She rolled out.
Or maybe the vendors have to meet us at a certain time and we.
Well,
They
said-
need,
You said no vendors.
okay,
That's what we're
we
saying.
need to work with the restaurants that have the teams that have been raising money all year.
Does that mean they're gonna be able to sell
Find out.
food?
During the event.
We need volunteers. We talked about maybe asking park rangers if they wanted to help.
Okay.
If not, we need.
We
volunteers.
did not have enough because you could bring in the people and you're coming down around this corner and you have to be there because there's trees right here. So you can't bring people, you have to be parking people and people yell. Scream, Nancy to you. They're, for the most part, we filled up the top part. We had a couple more spots on the bottom. And then we were gonna have to move the fireman's lot. That's
Right.
how, we were that close.
Mm.
So, Huh?
Already, I had it ripped off, just in case.
yeah,
People weren't real happy about it, but we had it ripped off.
that is correct. We were only like 2 cars off from starting to direct cars that way. And it needs to be advertised. There is no parking fee because they're here for the event and this is a big fundraiser. And that was something we said, well, we can't park here. Side. I'm one of the commissioners. I'm saying no. Okay. Yes.
Renee,
Yeah.
Renee,
Yes.
can I ask a question before you motion to end the meeting?
Yes.
Would it be possible, since we're not charging to park at Avalon, and I would be willing to help to direct cars in, could we just have a donation box and people could throw $1 in and then the town would be donating money for the event also with the donations?
Good idea.
What do you think about that?
I think we could do that. Yes, I do like that idea. So it's just money towards the event. Nobody's
Yes, and then we would, go ahead, I'm sorry.
that nobody's obligated, but there is a donation basket that'll go towards the event.
Where would said
Yes.
basket?
Whoever is that
We have 6 volunteers, you know.
one person.
One person for each volunteer could have a basket. Little change can. I don't know about that either, but.
Well, even the person that's here, that's directing them to come in.
Do they come anywhere near the ramp?
Right
Yeah.
after the ramp. That's where I was last year. I was at the boat ramp last year.
So could we put a little sign right there saying donation box? And we use the ramp box for a donation box for this event?
That, but
Yeah.
even parking, person that's we were just talking about that too, that whoever is this person that's saying, go to that person who's going to direct to go down here to this
You're
person,
taking
okay?
donations.
Hey, we're taking donations. If you would like to donate, no obligation, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
So there's only one person doing it.
Copy that.
Yeah,
Okay.
instead of having a bunch of
And we can just maybe have a little basket that would say donations for Special Olympics.
Yes.
Because I know when Bob parked the cars at the Cecil County Fair each year, the Masons did it. They would get between $7,000 and $10,000 just for donations from the people parking their cars. We're not going to have that kind of volume, but if we give a couple $100 to the event from the town, that I think that's a good idea.
Yes. Thank you, Robin. Okay.
Oh, you're welcome.
Is there a motion?
And put me down.
Put you down? Okay.
Okay. Put me down to
Sign-
help. Okay. And good night. Good night.
Good night. I will make a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Okay.
I got one more thing.